All right, is a new Solana season starting? Are we about to get a Solana season? And also, what's happening to Bitcoin right now? Is it going to top here around 112K? The only guy who called 112 to 113K. Most people don't understand. We're going to talk about both Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, especially the Solana season that I see is coming. Most people think this is going to be a meme coin season. No, there could be a meme coin season, but it's got nothing to do with meme coins. It's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. Another catalyst. I'm very surprised. I bet 99% of people don't even know what's coming for Solana. That's because they've been advertising this for like over a year now. So most people have lost attention because I bought a few coins. I'm going to share the coins that I'm into. But I bought a few coins in this space a year ago. They did massive runs up and then massive crashes. So now I'm thinking about getting back into some of them. So first, let's have a look at Bitcoin before we get onto Solana. Do we think, if we want to get into Solana and its ecosystem, do we think this is the place to get in? So for example, Bitcoin here, it's floating up again. But the way this is happening, I think we have one more leg down. My call has been that we top out at around this 112K area, 112 to 113, and not for a double top. I said that's the smallest likelihood the smallest chance would be a double top here, 113K, 112K, and the bull market has ended. I've been saying that the most likely chance, well, here it is actually, Bitcoin double top at 113K. If there is a double top or a big pullback to scare the weak hands, then the place to watch out would be at 112, 113K. If they are going to create a big pullback or a double top, then the place most likely to do it, in my view, is 113K. Like I've said this in my Discord, on social media many times. So I think for folks who have been watching my videos, I don't need to explain why it would happen at 113K. My last 4 or 5 videos all talk about this, but I would say this is a small pullback and we don't go below 101, 102K area. Probably one more leg down, something like 103, 104, 105, then up we go. Simply because right now too many people are still shorting. If this was more red or even more black, I would say we can get probably below 100K. Right now I still have a lot of greens and they're going to add to these greens. So I don't see a lot of fuel for a Bitcoin pullback. So and then we're going to look at ETH and look at Solana and what the Solana season is all about. Very exciting stuff. But before we do that, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't even need to hand in your ID. That means the exchange can't even see who you are. That means, yeah, of course, Americans can use it because the exchange can't see you. So this is my link to Bitunix. Just by depositing on the Pablo deal, receive up to $200 and then trade and win up to $35,000, right? But it ends on June the 4th, limited time only. So chance to win a Tesla Model 3, Rolex, Apple Vision Pro, Sony, just by trading. Okay, so if you're watching this on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on another platform, such as this one, then basically just go to my profile page, and it should be my link right there. It's my link tree, my stand link right there. First thing that pops up, Bitunix. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. And remember, folks, this deal is only on the Pablo link. Okay, so the for Ethereum, let's have a look. Ethereum, the support is a little bit more obvious. It's this around this low 2300 area. I'm thinking Bitcoin pulls back and ETH has one more stab at this low 23, below 24, between 23 and 2400 area, and then up we go. I don't see a huge pullback for ETH again because of this situation here. Like, yeah, people are still shorting. People are still leaning short on ETH. So I don't see a crash I don't see Bitcoin going more than 10%. So 10% for Bitcoin will be like 101K area. If Bitcoin hits 102 or 101K, then ETH can go down further. So something like, we could even, on extreme case, a wick down, something like this, but close back above 2,300. You know, one of those days where you see like one of those cascade sales, like something like this, something like this. Right now, people are already shorting. The exchange is just not going to let people win, right? So it's basically right here on ETH. It's basically a what I would call a bull flag. I think it's forming. It's basically something like this, right? Bull flag. Yeah, something like this. So I mean, you don't really need to draw it because it's actually just between this resistance 2760 area to this 23.0 area. That's already been marked out on my chart. For folks who've been watching my videos, who are in my Discord, who watch me in my social media, you know, I've had these two lines of resistance for a while now, and the target would be something like 3,100 area. That's a big one. I've explained that one before. Okay, now let's get into Solana season. Why do we think Solana season is going to be happening? Some of you might have guessed already by looking at the top browser here, because it's going to be Seeker season. Seeker is basically, by the way, I want to declare, nothing I say here is, none of the coins I talk about here is sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Solana, not by Seeker, not by the coins, not currently sponsored by any of the coins from Solana that I'm going to talk about. So, for example, Seeker is like the Solana mobile that's coming out, and they've been talking about this for a while now. So, what are the first things you need once you have this mobile? Well, what things made a lot of people rich? The apps, the phone apps. Right, like imagine, you've heard of stories, people who have just basically created a little game. What's that? Angry Birds, right? That costs like, I don't know, $5,000 to create. It's like such a tiny game. People have created like that fruit chopping game, right? All these tiny apps that probably took like 1 or 2 devs to work on it for like 2 or 3 months, you know, and then some of them go viral and they take over the world. So even like TikTok wouldn't be here, right? Like Instagram wouldn't be here if we were only watching TikTok on a laptop. No one would do that and go click next video, click next video. It's the reason why TikTok is hot, and you guys met me, is because you can just pick it up the phone, you can just go scroll, use your thumb, you can just go scroll. That's the whole point. That's the logic of TikTok. That's why it's called TikTok, because it's about, you show us what content do you have within 30 seconds. So a lot of the apps are going to take off. And people know this, that I was looking at some Solana apps before, but the problem is some of them ran up huge, like had massive runs. And the problem is then, because I'm not sure if it was delayed, but there just wasn't enough attention to sustain the Solana Seeker season, because it only comes out this summer. So it's going to be here, something like, okay, so when is it going to be here? Solana phone officially ships on August the 4th. So I'm thinking there will be a lot of advertising promotion from Solana certainly by July, and probably starting like mid-August or something. So we're now 3 or 4 weeks out, maybe 2-3 weeks out from major promotions by Solana. So therefore, we just need to be very, very ahead of this trend. We really need to get ahead of this trend. So that's what the phone looks like. It's actually people tell me it's thin, it's small, whatever. Now here's the other thing. August the 4th, they are trying to encourage people to what do they call, pre-order. Because I imagine these phones, I haven't looked into it, but I imagine these phones are probably going to be manufactured in China, if not in India. Anyways, both places are getting hit with Trump tariffs. And so you have to order early. So if you pre-order now, then Solana knows how many phones they're going to ship. And if you order like after the July the 9th, then I think it's July. July. When did they do the China deal? May, June, July. Yeah, July 9th. They're going to be then tariffs go up, and then anything from China could be like 35, 50% tariffs again. So so far Solana has got pre-orders for 150,000 phones. I think that number is going to go up a lot more, and I hope Solana is smart enough to pre-buy and just order like 1 million phones or something. Expect something like 500,000 to 1 million orders to come in, rather than wait for them to go through customs on August the 4th or later and then be hit with huge tariffs. So what are some of the apps on Solana phone? Okay, first of all, what apps can you think of? What apps can you think of that are on your phone that you must use? What apps do you use every day on your phone, for example? So the one, I know it doesn't sound like quite so Web3, but one phone app that I do use a lot is Mail. Like, it doesn't matter if you use whatever mail it is, service it is that you use. This coin, just to be 100% clear, about a year ago, I think, or 9 months ago, I was actually working with SoulMail. So they paid me for one promotion, and basically since then, I haven't even spoken to the guys for a year, right? So that's the log chart. So it's basically, it ran up from out of nowhere from like 0 to 80 million, right? I was talking about it when it was like, yeah, that's what the chart looks like if we take off the log. So folks in my Discord, folks who've been following me know this from a year ago. It went from like where it is now, like below 1 mil to 80 million. And when I found out about it, was already like at over 200,000. So for some people, this was like a 300-400x run. Of course, no one timed the top, I don't imagine. And because the interest couldn't sustain itself, because we're still not in QE, we're in QT right now. And so therefore, the interest couldn't sustain itself, so the thing completely went down. Now there could be some interest coming back. Let me just see if I can find their app, SoulMail. And once again, I'm not involved with them right now. I haven't spoken to them for a year. I was helping them a year ago, so that's the first thing I thought about. So the reason why I thought of this SoulMail is because that there was another one that I wasn't paid by them, but I was one of the early investors. It's called SoulKeep, SOL, but KEEP. And I haven't spoken to the devs for like a year either, but those devs have gone quiet. They haven't been posting on Twitter. So my assumption is they're probably not doing much work at all. But this SoulMail, who I'm not working with at the moment, I just looked at them today and they're still working. They're still posting every day. So this is something called DocuSign. So apparently you can do DocuSign on sign your documents through email. So another interesting story is, that reminds me, there was another Solana app called SoulSign. I think they were trying to take DocuSign. So all the apps that you have on your current Apple phone, they're trying to figure out how to replace all of them. So there's Adobe, DocuSign, Gmail. So SoulMail was created for that, but then they realized, okay, why do we just stop at that? We could probably also do something like DocuSign. So I remember buying SoulSign as well, went to 0. So that was way too early. Now that I look back, now it's probably kind of getting close to secret season or Solana season, but that was way too early. But still, it went from like 0 to went from like 100,000 to like 80 million. So that's a 800x pump for somebody there. So anyways, so basically it's from what I can see, they're trying to replace other apps. So if you know how they call it the first mover advantage, if people get onto the SoulMail thing, then you basically can do DocuSign on it as well. They got tweeted by Solana themselves once. That was a year ago. And so you can see that this team is still very much working. I'm trying to get in contact with them again to see what they're up to, if Solana is going to do anything with them, if Solana is going to put the app on their phone. I imagine this would all be just in the Apple App Store, or is it going to be in some sort of Solana App Store? Okay, this is something that I found interesting. So someone had posted this, and this is a question they asked Grok. And it's a live question, and we can ask Grok itself. It says, "Hey Grok, tell me about Solana Mail, and why it would be could overtake the other big email providers." I'm just going to jump straight to the conclusion, and this is Grok's answer. This is not me making it up. I was learning about it as well when I saw it, and what it said was basically, come on, Grok's still giving me answers, still thinking, limitations and challenges. Conclusion. So it has the potential to disempower Gmail and other big email providers because decentralized, privacy-focused, and censorship-resistant. Well, we all know that because this is the big problem with Gmail is can get hacked sometimes. Your data gets leaked. But however, the pros and cons. Gmail has entrenched user base, ecosystem integration, brand dominance, So that's actually a pretty good answer from Grok. Just to finish off, one other thing that I would think about is something called Tars. Tars AI, you've seen me do promotions for them. That was years ago. A month ago, I don't have a current deal with them. They're the only AI app that is sponsored by. That is officially recognized by Solana Foundation. That's on their homepage. I think chances are then they're going to put this AI app on their phone, or maybe it could be downloaded on just openly. Any app can say they're a Solana app and can be downloaded. So again, not sponsored by any of these coins. Not currently sponsored by any of these coins. Some of them I spoke about in a paid promotion a month ago, some of them like a year ago. Okay, hope you guys found this episode helpful. I'm gonna look into more Solana apps because Solana secret season's coming. Okay, catch you guys for next episode.